Welcome to the Steve Reeve Podcast with the best moments from the past week and a few things that didn't make it to air. Thursday.
I remember the day that I was only earning $1 per hour, and everything was fine. We're going to have another boost in the federal minimum wage. If you hadn't heard about it, starting April 1st, there's no joke about it. It's moving up in Canada to $18.15 per hour. Of course, there's tons of small print and slight exclusions and details that you need to pore over, sure. But I'm sure everybody's going to be totally normal about it, like they always are whenever there is a minimum wage increase, which really isn't all that often. And only $18 per an hour? Well, only if you stop going out for lunch and don't get the extra guacamole. You know, the guacamole is $18, okay?
It's time for Cruz Music News with Steve Reeve.
This is huge. There's a big deal musical release coming, and it's not even that far away. Sublime have announced their first new album in 3 decades. It's called Until the Sun Explodes. This is coming just about a year after they promised they were working on new music with the help of Travis Barker and others. It is materialized. It is here. Well, almost. They've released the title single, Until the Sun Explodes, as of today, and it's going to be coming out June 12th from Atlantic Records. A lot of different collaborations are promised on the album, but one of the most notable things is Jacob is going to be singing with the band on this album for the first time. Jacob Noel, who is the son of Bradley Noel. He died in 1996. Jacob was not even a year old, and now it's becoming this very interesting and very cool tribute. I'm sure people are going to eat it up. Meanwhile, new metal act Korn are getting a lot of attention, and it's not because they're doing a big headline UK tour right now, or at least they're going to be setting out on it the first time they performed over there in a decade, but it's actually because of a dance from a pop singer named Zara Larsson. People have seen her perform the dance that goes along with her single Lush Life in videos, in music videos, on stage, at concerts. And so people have copied it. It's a TikTok trend, of course, but now they've added Korn's Freak on a Leash as the accompanying music, I guess opening up a whole new audience of fans to what is arguably one of the greatest nu metal tracks of all time. Speaking of 30 years later, that song is 28 years old now. And Jay-Z in the news, defending being a billionaire. He says morality is not defined by a dollar amount. He is worth $2.8 billion, by the way. And it's always the funny argument that, merit. Oh, if you're rich, then you can do so much good. Yeah, but do you? Is the big question. If your money's mobilized to just make more money instead of, helping out with the people around you, is it really a moral stance to have that much cash in the bank? Well, you tell me. That's it for your music news today. I'm Steve Reeve.
You're listening to the Steve Reeve Podcast from 100.5 Cruz FM.
Did you know that Paul Rudd once took Steve Carell aside to tell him not to audition for The Office reboot? That was on the set of Anchorman, one of the most quotable movies of the 2000s, and that's saying a lot. But just so we're clear, we're not talking about The Paper spinoff. I mean, The Office, the U.S. remake of the original UK series. According to Carell talking to Amy Poehler on the Good Hang podcast, Paul said don't do it. And Steve said there's no way. Except, I guess maybe you don't say no to what might be decent work. And he did audition. But, it wasn't the whale that it became at the start. He said that they made the lowest testing pilot in the history of NBC. That's something to put on the resume. But then it went on to kill 9 seasons, is beloved by most, and will now forever be replayed by people while they fold their laundry until the end of time. Just goes to show you, you can never, ever trust Paul Rudd.
They've done studies, 60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Alan Ritchson, star of Reacher, who's also, my favorite role of his is in the flashbacks in Brooklyn Nine-Nine when he plays the 1980s Norm Scully. Fantastic. But he was recently in a fight with a neighbor, and it was deemed by the police in the situation that it was self-defense. There was, a crash. He was on a motorcycle or something like that. And this is a pretty brutal scene. This is a big, beefy dude, and kind of wailing for a moment on his neighbor. But he steps away after a couple of hits and says something, points his finger, and leaves the scenario. I guess the investigation deems, or the money from being an actor maybe deems that he was, not so much in the wrong. It's bringing up the question, should we be able to just fight our neighbors to settle disputes? like a duel scenario. I'm not talking about just like bum rushing somebody and sucker punching. No, you can't. You got to do it like a gentleman. Should we be allowed to fight our neighbors to settle a dispute? My shared fence situation is off. Put them up. Let me know. Obviously, don't strike your neighbor. Maybe use your words. Fun to think about, though.
Friday.
Everything old is new again. While vinyl records have jumped back up as the dominant physical media for music, surpassing CDs in the United States just last year, it crested over the 1 billion total sales for new vinyl records mark. Just as an example, cassette tapes have slowly been growing in popularity as well. And now Maxell, remember that logo from all the blank tapes decades ago? Oh, you had your Simpsons episodes recorded onto, and home movies, of course. They have announced a brand new and modernized cassette player, portable cassette player, basically a Walkman, though that is, of course, copyright of Sony. It's got a included battery, charges with a USB-C port. That's part of the modernization of it, is you don't need to have constant AA batteries to keep the music going. What's crazy is that, yes, of course, it has Bluetooth, the most modern possible Bluetooth. You can connect to anything, really, any kind of speaker wirelessly or headphones. But speaking of, you can also do the classic headphones with a 3.5 millimeter audio jack. And as well, linking into that magical car receptor. I loved when we were, like, the magic of the tape head that would go into the cassette thing that could plug into, like, a CD player. Now you can flip it and reverse it. They say coming soon. People are going, wait, but it's not April 1st yet. Why are you joking about this? No joke. They're legitimately doing this. Seems like it's going to retail for $100. It's reasonable, maybe on a bit of a high side. Maybe they can sweeten the deal by including a pencil, or AKA a manual rewinding device. Cheetos are bringing back the flamin' hot dill pickle flavor. Weird way to open up music news, I realize, but they've enlisted 2 major musical acts to do this weird tongue-in-cheek commercial to promote the momentous occasion. Megan Thee Stallion and Nickelback. And the only reason that they got Nickelback involved is really just because of a rhyming thing. See, she says she needs her pickle back after learning that they are a discontinued item, leading to...
They'll do it. I got him.
Got who?
Nickelback.
I said pickleback.
They're bringing back the flaming bacon.
Okay, and that's just about enough of that. But it goes on from there. Actually, pretty funny. Whole, music video involved and everything. Frontman of the White Stripes, Jack White, after appearing on SNL with Jack Black, is going to be on tour, although very far away from here, announcing a UK Summer 2026 tour, at least 10 dates on there already. We also let you know about Weezer announcing a North American tour that doesn't really count as North American, but there are 2 dates in Canada, in Vancouver and in Toronto. Tickets are going to go on sale for that, The Gathering, quite soon. This weekend, it's tributes on tributes, it's performances on performances as the Juno Awards arrive on Sunday. A little bit of a strange situation, as there are 47 awards from the Junos each year, and only 4 are being televised on Sunday night. The rest will be actually online in a video from a gala celebration the day before. But there's going to be a big moment as Joni Mitchell returns to Canada, making a rare public appearance here in her home country to accept the Lifetime Achievement Award, as well an induction for the one, the only Nelly Furtado into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. All this and more should be an interesting night. Biggest night in Canadian music, that's for sure. And that's it for your music news today. I'm Steve Reeve.
You're listening to the Steve Reeve Podcast from 100.5 Cruz FM.
AI is in everything. People are using it to do all kinds of stuff. And of course, one of the major questions when, generative AI for text showed up is, well, what is it going to do to classes, schools, assignments, written work, There's a professor named Matt Prince. He's at Chapman University, South California. He says that he's got a reveal that's more damning than the so-called M-dash effect of AI, and that piece of punctuation has shown up so much more since the advent. Says he's actually got one word that if it shows up in your paper, there's a 99% chance that AI has written it or has had a hand in it. I've got the word for you. It is specifically moreover. Now, a lot of people in the comments are, of course, saying, yeah, I say moreover. I say things like furthermore, thus, therefore, ergo, and kind of things like that. Informal writing anyway. But he argues that when things are written in a little bit more of a conversational tone, as a lot of people that are young and doing assignments in his class are, when that word shows up, it's a dead giveaway. But he also says there's a few other words like delve and tapestry. So the argument is starting to get a little bit wishy-washy. I just think that there's kind of like a tone, a very agreeable yes man kind of tone that anything written by AI kind of has. Well, this is the greatest idea anyone has ever had in the history of anything. That kind of vibe. That's the dead giveaway for me. I was really dreading the moment when it would arrive, when it would happen, but I got that first indication from the vehicle of a near-empty tank today. The remaining fuel liter estimate started taking over the dash. I know there's some reserve beyond that, but I'm starting to lose my resolve. I'm starting to wonder just how long I'm going to be able to run on a drip of gas, while I wait for the prices to go back down. Putting on my clown makeup as we speak. So messed up how I would accept $1.30 per liter with a smile again now. If only my car ran on the puke I feel trying to come up every time I see a gas station sign.
Transmission over. Want more Steve? New podcast episodes happen every Friday, or just tune into the Steve Reeve Show. Weekday mornings starting at 5:30 a.m. on 100.5 Cruz FM.